Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Matt.
I'm Aurora. I'm Mimi.
I'm Pop-Pop.
I'm Kelly. I'm Lady. I'm Ronnie.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Are you? Hey, you took a head start again. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us. Currently, we are working on grading some eggs. We're trying to get morning chores finished off, and then we're going to be moving on to some exciting jobs today. One big job, which is more necessary than exciting, is moving some plants around. We have some plants in the germination greenhouse, and they are liking the heat a little too much. We've also got something else that's pretty exciting planned for you today. We're gonna go for a run and check on how things have been growing. We've gotten a lot of planting done and we haven't been able to give you an update in quite some time. However, before we do that, I need to finish off with grading eggs and getting some of these animals taken care of. Put a whole bunch of bedding in here for the chickens yesterday, and they seem to be enjoying it, and the eggs look absolutely beautiful. How does that smell? Well, it smells pretty good. It smells delicious. I have to say, I think the cattle are pretty excited with their new hay bale. I finished watering greenhouse number 6, greenhouse number 5, and I'm about halfway finished off with greenhouse number 4. At this point in the year, watering is taking longer and longer every single day, but that's because the greenhouses are being completely filled. This is one of those love-hate jobs when it comes to the amount of plants that we take care of. Yes, it is relaxing. Yes, I do enjoy watering the plants and seeing them grow, but man, does this job take up a lot of time. Now, thankfully, as we move into planting season for us and we start planting different types of crops, there will be less in the greenhouse to take care of, but at this point, it's just a lot. We've tried in the past setting up an automatic watering system for all these plants on the tables, but what we learned is that with so many different types of plants that need so many different types of water, we'd find out that some plants were getting less water than they needed, and some were actually getting flooded, which is not good at all. So unfortunately, we do have to water a lot of stuff with the wand, but this is the best way for us to ensure that everything grows correctly and gets enough water and nutrients. One thing I will say though, I'm very happy with the progress that we've seen in our plants, and I know a lot of the customers have been expressing how nice the plants are to us, so that has been really nice. Makes you feel a little bit better when all this work, you know that it doesn't go for nothing, and that there are people out there enjoying it. Well, that's gonna be it for watering greenhouses. I am now finally done with that job. I think so, at least. I don't want to do any more watering today. I'm kind of tired of it. My next job involves moving some plants out of the germination greenhouse down into some of these lower greenhouses. We've been dealing with some bright, warm, sunny weather the past few days, and it's been too much for those young plants. More specifically, we have some tomatoes up there, and we have some eggplant that needs to be moved out. If we don't move it out soon, it might get too tall and spindly, and that could lead to some problems. It looks like we've got Daniel up here planting some corn. How many acres do you have left?
About 6.
Almost done?
Yep.
Wow. Holy smokes, is it warm in here. Front door is open, window is open, and we are pushing 100 degrees. Definitely want to get that window open, try and help it out a little bit. So right here, this is what I am up to grab. We've got a whole bunch of tomatoes that need to be moved out of here. And we also got some eggplant that needs to be moved out. But before we move the eggplant out, we definitely will have to clean it up. We've got a few cells that have way too many seeds in them. For now, we're gonna try and get everything pulled out of this greenhouse because it is way too hot. I don't think the heated tables are on right now. However, some of the stuff that was on the heated table is now up perfectly fine, so I want to pull it off. For example, some of our cabbage and some of our broccoli. I've got some imperial broccoli here, and then I've also got some blue Vantage cabbage. So we're gonna get all this stuff pulled off these heated tables while we're up here, and then we'll be able to take all that other stuff down to the lower greenhouse. Now I was gonna take all of the doubles and the triples and the 5 plants in one sill and separate them while I was in this greenhouse, but it's way too hot to be working in here. I now have it opened up, which has cooled it down a little bit, but yeah, I'd rather work out in the breeze than in this intense heat. My goodness, that greenhouse definitely had me sweating. Whew. Wouldn't want to stay in there too long. Feels like springtime. Just made it in for lunch, and it looks like is this chicken or turkey?
Pork.
Pork. I was close enough. Looks like we're having pork barbecue sandwiches, and Grammy made some tapioca pudding. Once we got finished off with lunch, I helped a few of the customers up in front of the farm market. As you saw, it is very, very busy up there. Another thing is Callie went with Uncle Joel down to the horses, so I don't have to worry about her. And now I'm here working on these eggplant that I had brought down. So these are just a regular black or purple eggplant. And as you can see, some of these cells have a few too many plants in there. So we're gonna be taking out the extra plants and planting them into empty cells. That way each plant has enough root space for itself to develop, and we don't have to worry about any of these plants not growing appropriately because they'll all have plenty of room to grow. Now we've been raising eggplant for a very long time, and there are a few different eggplant varieties that we will raise. For the most part, we focus on just our purple or our black eggplant. This is our most popular seller. We used to raise a lot more plants, but more recently we've gone from putting two sets of rows into one bed of mulch. We've gone from doing 2 sets of rows to 1 row in every single bed of mulch. And that has allowed our eggplant to grow a lot larger, and it's allowed us to need less eggplant plants. Eggplant is another one of those crops that we really tried hard to get better at raising it. In the past couple of years, we've done a nice job. Last year we had a little bit of trouble, but it was beyond our control. It was weather related. We still were able to harvest some nice eggplant, but we're hoping this year we'll do a little bit better than last. Hopefully the weather will agree with us just a little bit more. Now, a lot of times I'll get asked why we use the stick when we're transplanting. For the most part, my fingers are too big, and when I try and push the plant in, it just compresses all the soil around it. So what I like to do is use the stick, and I push on the base of the roots gently. And some people ask if I break the roots when I'm doing that. You can break the roots, but I've been doing this for so long, I can tell exactly when I break the roots using the stick and pushing them in. But I just try and keep at the base of the roots. I use light pressure, and this way I don't have a huge gaping hole inside each cell. I just have to use a little bit of pressure, poke the plant down in, and then we are good to go. I got all the eggplant and tomatoes moved into the greenhouse, but in talking with Dad, he said it would probably be a good idea to get the pickling cucumbers, regular cucumbers, and zucchini out of that greenhouse. So we're gonna take the wagon up again for another load. It looks like I wasn't the only one that had the idea to move stuff out of the greenhouse. Dad moved a whole bunch of these peppers that were in our 512 trays out. It was a little too hot in here, wasn't it?
It's warm in here.
Yeah, you sweating?
No.
No? You been outside enough?
Yeah.
Good. But I'm gonna be trying to take down all of this stuff on our heated table. I've got a few different types of squash up there, and all of these cucurbits right along this side of the table. Just trying to get them moved out of this heat so they don't have to deal with it. Brought out quite a few different variety of plants. We have our regular pickling cucumbers, and our cucumbers are straight 8s, but we've also got bush cucumbers, which those are pretty interesting because the vines don't travel. They're very popular for gardeners that have less room. So bush cucumbers, and we also got burpless cucumbers. Now I have to bring out the yellow squash, the yellow zucchini, and a few other things that I have in there, along with some butternut squash. I've now got everything loaded onto the wagon, so we're gonna take this down around back. Matthew just let me know he had to go with Tracy to take Azalea to a checkup. The baby's perfectly fine, just a scheduled checkup, and because of that, he had to leave the farm, and well, the farm market, it's super busy. So I'm gonna take this stuff down around back, and then I'm gonna help out customers any way I can. I know originally I had some stuff scheduled to get done out in the fields, but unfortunately, things change. And this is one of those things where I won't be upset about it. Hey, baby's gotta go to the checkup. I get it, I've been there before. the farm market finally slowed down enough to the point where I could come down around back and get animals fed for the evening. First things first, I gotta get the calves taken care of, and that's basically it. So we've got a little bit of milk here for the calves, so we're gonna take it over and get each one of the calves taken care of. Fresh milk coming your way, bud. Wait till I dump it in there, please. There you go. Here we go, bud. Just got all the calves fed. They seem to be doing really well. One of the calves is giving us a little trouble when it comes to eating his breakfast and his dinner. So because of that, we've had to spend a little extra time each evening with that calf. Usually I'll feed by myself or Dad will feed by himself, but we just want to make sure that calf is getting enough milk. That way it can continue to grow and we can keep monitoring its weight. But that should be about it when it comes to taking care of animals for the evening. Right, kitty? Just a couple more pecks and then we're done with animals. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? It's a little too early and warm outside to be putting down the sides on the greenhouses, but we're running into a little bit of an issue, and that issue is a cold front that is rolling in. So we want to make sure we get the sides down before the wind really starts to blow. It's already starting to pick up, and we don't want anything to get damaged. Because it is so warm, and the second the sun pokes out, these greenhouses are going to heat up like crazy. We're going to leave the front door opened up, so that's one thing we don't have to worry about. I just made it home and I've got some wild little animals following me. It is time for dinner, and since it's time for dinner, that means this is where we're gonna end the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.